They saying Shannon Sharpe ain't the only one. They calling it Freak Sports One, FS1, Freak Sports One, and they saying that Shannon Sharpe is just one of the cogs in the machine of this freaky sports media industry, where everybody is sleeping with everybody behind the scenes and everybody is in different situations. And we've heard these stories before, but I got some information that I'm about to display for you guys to kind of check it out. And we've heard, allegations of from different companies, ESPN, Fox Sports, where, Stephen A. Smith was accused of sleeping with Molly Karam. Molly Karam is accused of sleeping with people behind the scenes, and that's why her and Jalen Rose get divorced. We've heard the stories of Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, and now they're saying, I got somebody, a former employee of FS1, that I'm gonna show you guys. He's saying that Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe's falling out was because Skip was really jealous about all the women at the office liking Shannon Sharpe, and Skip wasn't getting no play. That's what he says. I'm going to show you guys a lot of this different information. And also, we got the new update on Shannon Sharpe's case. It's bad, man. He went to court, and the footage from the tape that's alleged with him and this little girl that he was sleeping with is, I guess they have it, and Shannon Sharpe is like refusing to watch it. And he went to court, and that was the whole thing. I'm going to show you guys that. We're going to talk about this from the entrepreneur perspective. Look, the principle of all this is there's a scripture that comes to mind, which is he who walks with the wise becomes wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm. When you doing things and you just put yourself in an environment where you surrounded by nonsense, you more likely for the nonsense to happen to you, and you get caught up in the nonsense. And this is why, even in the Bible, it say you gotta flee sin. You can't sit there and try to play with it, fight it, or try to change the system. You got to just get away from it. So Shannon Sharpe, his whole situation is exposing a lot of different things that we hadn't seen before. And we're going to jump into this. Before we get started, I ask that you guys keep the likes up, hit the like button if you just came in early. I ask that you guys keep the comments respectful. And let's try to get it up to 50% of people in the room. Right now, we got, let's say it's 200 people that just joined in, just getting started. We only got 30 likes. Let's hit that like button if you guys was watching. And as we get into this, man, it's a lot of information to unpack. Also, one of Shannon Sharpe's bosses, his former boss, just got fired today or yesterday for the same thing that Shannon Sharpe is accused of. So it's a lot of craziness going on around this, man. But we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna see all the information, and we're gonna do it together. Before we get started, we always start every live stream with a prayer. So we'll start that way. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you, God, humbly, asking that you bless everybody under the sound of my voice. As we unpack this information, God, I ask that you let us have a community of positivity, love, unity, and sharing information and entertainment together, God, in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, man. Let's get into it. Now, after this Shannon Sharpe situation, it's saying that he's had years of trouble, and some skeletons is coming out of his closet now. And they're saying that he had 2 incidents back in the day of being in altercations with women, physically being arrested for altercations with women. So that's coming forward, obviously, because of the situation. Also, Stephen A. Smith has made another statement about the Shannon Sharpe situation. We're going to play that too during this live stream. It says, in one incident, Shannon Sharpe, 56 years old now, got into an altercation with a woman at his Atlanta home in January 1995. A police spokesperson said at the time, each person said they were hit by the other. So the woman was saying that Shannon Sharpe beat her up. He was saying that she beat him up. As a result, both Shannon Sharpe and the woman, who the reporting party chose not to name, were charged with simple battery. So they both went to jail for fighting each other. In 1995, the woman was also charged with destruction of property after she allegedly broke some glass and things. So basically, somebody called the police. Shannon Sharpe was in there. Him and his girl was fighting or whatever. They both went to jail for this. And this is what happens, man. When you have these situations where people are starting to question your character, they just start digging into your background and seeing how much of this is actually consistently a part of who you are, right? So that was in 1995. This is a new report that just came out where they're letting everybody put on notice about this. It says less than a decade later, so 1995, he had that incident. Less than a decade later, Shannon Sharpe found himself facing similar charges stemming from an incident with yet another woman inside his Atlanta home. It says that it was confirmed by the Fulton County clerk that he was charged again with simple battery in July 22nd, 2004. So 1995, he got charged with battery on a woman. And battery that's a charge where it could be an unwanted touch. It don't mean that he was battering her. It don't mean he was putting fists and punching her. It means that, you could slap somebody on the shoulder, and that's battery. You could push somebody just with 2 fingers in the forehead. That's battery. Any unwanted touch is qualified as battery in the legal system. A woman claimed that Shannon Sharpe lifted her up to physically remove her from the home. That's battery. That's considered battery. The alleged incident occurred in June, and the woman reported it to police 2 weeks later. Then he reportedly turned himself in and was thrown in jail. He posted a $1,000 bond. 24 hours later, his attorney at the time claimed that Mr. Sharpe very appropriately and lawfully simply picked her up and gently put her outside of his home. Anytime you touch somebody without them saying it's okay for you to touch them, that's battery. So even in this situation, so he turned himself in. He went to jail. This is 2004. This happened. This is 9 years after the 1995 battery with a different woman. And it says the case ultimately resolved in mediation. When contacted by the U.S. Sun, Sharpe's lawyer said in a statement, it should be of no surprise that when someone famous is in the news, all sorts of people crawl out of the woodwork to share their connection to that person in an attempt to profit from the alleged relationship. Bro, Shannon, I don't know how many situations you have to have with women before you start saying, okay, I got to stop. This has to stop happening. Shannon has been having legal issues involving women, saying that he did something to them since 1994, literally. I'm not exaggerating. Y'all reading the article with me. How many incidents do you need to have before you say, okay, I think God trying to show me that I need to stop this, or something's wrong? In many cases, this is the quote from the article. In many cases, those stories and accusations are nothing more than old news, fanciful exaggerations, and sometimes blatant misrepresentations of the facts. They are shared on social media or fed to reporters with intentional factual omissions and no regard for the truth. This is obviously purposeful, designed to fabricate a narrative. Bro, we can't fabricate. Nobody can fabricate a narrative. If you went to jail for this, you went to jail. Now, obviously, Shannon Sharpe has most recently, 20 years after that incident, been accused of what we got going on right now with his current lawsuit. And there was another incident during this lawsuit where this woman named Michelle Bundy Evans accused the former star of sexually assaulting her too. This is current. So this is like a week ago. This other woman comes out, not the girl that he's caught up with, not the 19-year-old. This is another woman that said Shannon did something to her back in the day too. Sharpe denied the allegations, and I'm going to break down her accusations too real quick, which I don't know that she's credible, but we're going to break down the accusations and just read what's reported. In the lawsuit filed by this new woman, Michelle Evans, against the NFL star, she made several alarming claims regarding the incident that happened in 2010, allegedly. In her lawsuit, she said that Shannon Sharpe had dated her for nearly a decade. In September 2010, they got into an argument over her claims that he had cheated on her. Listen, sometimes there's people that think like women, and you're going to see why I'm saying this in a second, but sometimes these women think they dating, and really Shannon was probably just smashing the lady. And she think like, yo, we've been smashing for 10 years, we date. But I don't know. I'm not saying he was or wasn't, I don't know. The article says during the argument, she alleged that Sharpe proceeded to forcefully subdue her and compel her to her knees, and then began engaging in subsequently engaged in non-consensual oral penetration. So basically, she's saying that Shannon forced her to give him head. They use all these big words in articles sometimes, and it's like, come on, man, just say it straight up. I understand the journalistic integrity, but she continued and said thereafter Shannon's coercion escalated as he maneuvered her onto the bed and achieved non-consensual vaginal penetration. So she claiming a RAPE too. All the while proclaiming his intent to make it so no other man will want her. What does that even mean? She said Shannon tried to make it where no other man will want her. Now, after this news became public, Shannon Sharpe had a representative respond and said, this woman's claims are ridiculous and completely without merit. She could not find a lawyer to take her case. And if you read her complaint, you see it's filled with nonsense. Right. And, you know, some of the stuff that she's saying aligns with some of the stuff this new victim, the other 19-year-old girl, is saying. But when I looked into this situation and when I kind of checked out and seen what was going on with that Michelle Bundy Evans, you guys still with me? Hold on. I had a technical difficulty. I kind of found that back in the day, I guess she went to jail or something. That's what it said in some article, that she went to jail for like trying to kill her boyfriend to be with Shannon Sharpe. So this might be a stalker that's just delusional. And, you know, I don't know. But Shannon didn't say, and his representatives didn't say that he wasn't sleeping with her. So I don't know. So that came out. Now, here's the latest update. Shannon Sharpe went to court for this current thing with this 19-year-old girl. And it says that Shannon Sharpe refuses to view the $1 million civil rape lawsuit. I guess he went to court and, you know, he's still denying the allegations. And I'm just going to read the article and you guys take what you will from it. It says, according to the complaint, the conduct occurred over several months, causing lasting psychological harm. So Shannon didn't just sleep with this little girl. I'm gonna keep calling her a little girl. She like 20 now. She was 19 when Shannon was 54 smashing her. She a little girl to me. I'm 30. I'm about to be 31. She a little girl to me. You know what I mean? So she says that this happened for several months. So it wasn't like he just smashed one time. No, he was dealing with this little girl for 7 months or several months. Moved her around, they said, and different things like that too. He's denied all the allegations and characterized the relationship as consensual. Now, there's a video, I guess, at the center of all this. It says a pivotal element of Shannon Sharpe's case is a video allegedly depicting one of the encounters described in the lawsuit. This video got to be bad because the way Shannon Sharpe is approaching it. Like, he tried to get in front of it. He said, yo, there's a tape out there. They're going to try to put it out to make me look bad. It's 30 seconds making me look horrible. And it's like, bro, what is on that tape that makes you feel, you know, that strongly about this? Because anytime you try to get in front of it, that means it's bad. If we seen it without context or we seen it without you saying something, we going to feel away. That's the reason you would do that. So Tony Busby, who's the lawyer representing the girl, confirmed that the video was reviewed in a confidential mediation setting by Shannon Sharpe's legal team. But Sharpe himself declined repeated invitations to view it. He emphasized that the footage will not be released publicly, citing both legal and ethical considerations. So this is a quote from the lawyer, Tony Busby, that's representing the girl that's suing Shannon. He says, quote, the only reason the public even knows the video exists is because Mr. Sharpe brought it up on Instagram. At no point have we ever threatened to release it, and we will not. It is evidence, nothing more, nothing less. Sharpe has publicly described the video as a 30-second clip designed to make him look guilty. Bro, if you made the clip, how could it be? I get it. Maybe he's saying that they're gonna clip it together to make him look, but if you in it, you in it. You know what I'm saying? If you look guilty, you look guilty. That's my personal, but which I hope that Shannon ain't guilty of some of this stuff, but when the skeletons start coming out the closet, it don't look good. But I really hope, and I don't want to believe that he did any of this. I want to believe he has higher character than that. It says, although he has no legal obligation to view the footage, his refusal may be viewed unfavorably by a jury. It may suggest avoidance or unwillingness to confront evidence that could challenge his narrative. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Let me see what you guys saying in the chat real quick. Hit that like button if you're just coming in. This is a crazy situation. Also, another issue that Shannon has that came out during this situation is that he settled an incident at Fox Sports 1 with another female PA. So I guess Fox Sports, when he was working with Skip Bayless on the show Undisputed, he had an incident with some lady there. And, you know, the company got sued because he was accused of choking a lady there, which is like, bro, all these things are still right up the same alley of what he's being accused of currently. Right? So the article says before Shannon Sharpe's time at ESPN, when he was a co-host of Undisputed on FS1, he was accused of choking a female production assistant in the workplace. 2 sources came forward and said that this happened. One source said Sharpe and Fox settled with the accuser for several $100,000s. There was no lawsuit filed directly against Sharpe in the incident. It was filed against Fox Sports. A rep for Fox Sports, a rep said there was no incident. This is a rep from Shannon Sharpe, said there was no incident of choking involving Shannon on the set. On one occasion, he and a few colleagues were involved in some light physical interaction in a playful context. He was like, I'll play fighting with her, dog. Fox Sports later chose to resolve the matter privately. And Fox didn't put out a statement for it. So all these things together make him look crazy, right? Now, this situation has made everybody look at the entire scope of what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm about to get into that in a second. And I want to show you guys, Stephen A. Smith did make one last statement about Shannon Sharpe. I hope that he don't keep making statements, because the more Stephen A. talk about it, the more people are going to keep talking about it. I'm not opposed to talking about it, but, you know, I would say if Stephen A. is Shannon's friend, you don't want to keep bringing it up every time you do an interview, dog. But from my perspective, Stephen A. Smith, he gonna do what he got to do for the views. Like he views and audience first, which I respect on some level. But he'll do it it seems like he'll do it at the expense of almost anybody, even himself. Which you got to respect that consistency. So, I'm gonna play what he said first, and then we're gonna get into the other people that are involved in this and why they're calling it Freak Sports 1 and saying that there's this culture in the sports media industry of just, it's like a sex culture. Like everybody is doing freaky stuff behind the scenes. I want to show you guys what Stephen A. Smith had to say about this situation with Shannon Sharpe. And then I'll get into all that other stuff right after. So let's pull this up, man. This is Stephen A. Smith. He sat down to do an interview. And during this interview, he spoke about Shannon Sharpe. And he says, I guess that this all stems from Shannon doing that Cat Williams interview. And that all the, everybody put a target on Shannon's back after he did that. Let's hear some of what Stephen A. had to say.
The court of public opinion is a lot, bro. And it's crazy because you hear, the shakedown, the $10 million offer, the $50 million lawsuit. And I always tell people, I say, man, if they say we're going to give you $10 million, we're going to give you $50 million, or
I'm going to skip to the good part.
We can lock him up for 5 years. What do you what he can to get past all of this? And listen, we all have friends that found themselves in various predicaments throughout our life. And you can look at somebody, and even if you take issue with their choices and what they've done, you can still sit up there and look at them and say they're a friend. Mm-hmm. And it means the world to them. And this is the time. And it means the world to them. And so for me, all I want him and anybody to know is that you ain't going to see me excoriating him. You ain't going to see me disrespecting him. You're not going to see me stripping him of my support. I can tell you what I think you right and you wrong about, right? Getting your ass about it, and then turn around and say, okay, how can we help you get back past this? All of that comes with friendship. And I think that true friends conduct themselves that way. They ain't yes people that tell you just what you want to hear. They ain't no people that's willing to vilify you to second something. I mean, I see cats talking about him, and I can't even put into words the shit I've seen them do and heard about them doing, especially in our business. And
Freak Sports 1. He said there's dudes talking about Shannon Sharpe that he can't even believe that he hearing these dudes talk because they've done way more freakier stuff behind the scenes in their business. So even in that, like, you hear how Stephen A. like, bro, you talking? I know some stuff you did. Crazy. That's the culture.
it's like you just, and then I see the zest with which people are willing to pounce on him.
Hey, yo.
And it's like, listen, people have been after him since he did Cat Williams. You know, they've been at his neck because of the numbers he produced and the success that it had and how he was able to ride that wave. Now, once again, that's separate and apart from all of this. We get that part. I'm not talking about what people are talking about and what they have to talk about. I'm talking about the zest with which they do it. If I sit up there and I'm friends with Big Boy, I'm a contemporary colleague with Big Boy, right? And then Big Boy get in trouble. It's one thing for me to be on the end going like this, yeah, you know, I mean, this is what happened to Big Boy. And it's another thing in time, you'd be like, yeah, you see what happened to Big Boy?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like,
I agree with that.
you know, you just see that. And you see a joy that some people are having in going at him. And that's sad. You can talk about it, but we know the difference in terms of the flavor that you're bringing to an equation where you're talking about somebody with glee and joy in your voice. When, you know, when you're talking about the kind of predicament they find themselves in. And that's what I have a problem with. So for me, it's just about making sure that he knows, and anybody that knows how I feel knows that he matters to me, and I want him to be okay.
So that's what Stephen A. Smith had to say. But, bro, to be real with you, I'm going to give Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to play the other side of it. Bro, you did kind of step away from him and stand on the other side. When it was clear that Stephen A. Smith, when Jay-Z had allegations, Stephen A. Smith, Jay-Z did not do this, and I would never. When Shannon Sharpe, it was like, he might have did that. I don't know. I wasn't there. You know, so if you his friend, that I don't know. I think there's always a way. I understand Stephen A.'s position though, because he walked Shannon into ESPN. Then it's like when you get the homie hired somewhere, you get somebody a job and then they come to the job and mess up. It make you look bad. So now you got to be the one to go make them look crazy or to go fire them, you know, or like, hey, dog, you know, they don't want you here no more. Somebody in the comments in the chat, I see you guys. Salute to all the subscribers in the chat. If you're not a subscriber, you can't be in the chat. Salute to all my subscribers. Somebody asked, is Michelle Beadle the one that they talking about? Michelle Beadle is not the one. Former ESPN female host reacts to Shannon Sharpe's mishap. Just clarifying, former ESPN host Michelle Beadle took to social media to deny she was the woman heard in Shannon Sharpe's accidental stream on IG Live. She's not the Michelle. She denied it. She wrote on X, "It was not me," with an awkward smile emoji. So just to kind of answer that question, I seen somebody in the chat ask that. It wasn't Michelle. It wasn't Michelle Beadle, I should say. Now, we heard Stephen A. Smith just now say that there was this whole culture and people that are going at Shannon Sharpe are people that they have skeletons in their closet themselves, right? And he's like, bro, I've seen crazier things from other people that are talking about Shannon Sharpe right now. And when you look at the overall scope of some of this stuff that's happened in these sports media industries, I have a full timeline that we're going to go through today. And actually some settlements have started for Skip Bayless. And I'm going to put that on screen in a second. Also, you know, you guys remember a couple months ago, when the announcement came out that it was Joy Taylor, right? Joy Taylor was tied up in some lawsuit. They were saying that she was sleeping with the executive at Fox Sports. If you guys remember that. And everybody was on the internet going crazy about that. That same executive that people were accusing her of doing that with, he recently just got fired, man. So he recently got fired, and this was Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless's boss for a while. The article reads, Fox Sports fires Charlie Dixon after he was accused of sexual battery by 2 ex-employees, his lawyer says. FS1 executive producer Charlie Dixon, who has been accused of sexual battery in 2 lawsuits. This happened yesterday. He was fired. He had been suspended, but he was fired yesterday officially. Said he's been accused of 2 sexual battery and lawsuits by former employees, and he's been accused of sexual assault in one of the lawsuits, and he's no longer with the company. The attorney for him said in a statement that he was being let go for violating company's policy. According to the network, Mr. Dixon did not disclose to the human resources or legal department that a third-party production company had hired his wife as a temporary freelancer. Mind you, he's caught up in this lawsuit as well. So says, but the reality is that Mr. Dixon had asked his supervisor about the hire and was told there were no objections. The quote says, it is noteworthy that a Fox spokesperson made no reference to the company's investigation of sexual harassment claims. In announcing his departure, Mr. Dixon has cooperated fully with the investigation and still denies engaging in any inappropriate conduct. But Charlie Dixon is no longer with Fox Sports, and the network stated there's no need for a further comment at this time. Now, I want to go through the history of what happened, because it's also been reported that Skip Bayless and Fox Sports are in settlement talks. They're in settlement talks for the harassment lawsuit. And the article here says that Fox Sports and Skip Bayless are reportedly in settlement talks with a hairstylist over this harassment lawsuit. And, you know, so I want to get into all the details and the timeline of what's going on so we can kind of put this in order, right? Now, there's been 11 accusations in the FS1 workplace for these type of incidents. And Shannon Sharpe, I believe, is included in them 11. 11 is a lot. 11 sexual misconduct incidents in the workplace at FS1. Freak Sports 1. So, said the news broke that Fox Sports, several prominent on-air personalities, and an executive have been named defendants in a wide-ranging workplace misconduct lawsuit filed in California. The suit brought by a former Fox Sports hairstylist, Nushin Faraji, who worked at the company for over a decade. I guess so. Let's see what this is about, man. This is the timeline that they have. Fox, and by the way, FS1 issued a statement saying we take these allegations seriously and have no further comment at the time pending litigation. Okay. According to Faraji's allegations, Skip Bayless spent years making sexual advances towards her. This included, and Skip, if you don't know, Skip was Shannon's former co-host on this show Undisputed, which was under the network Fox Sports 1, FS1. So it says Bayless spent years making sexual advances towards her. This included lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breasts. At one point during a haircut, Bayless referred to Faraji as voluptuous. With English being her second language, Faraji was not familiar with the term. Per the filing, Mr. Bayless seemed amused and told her to figure it out. Ms. Faraji later asked a coworker what that word meant and was mortified. Mr. Bayless then started being more aggressive and direct in his advances. Ms. Faraji continuously declined, stating that she did not date at work as she is a single mom and needed her job. So it's not just Shannon that's accused of this type of stuff. It says then, several years after Bayless's initial advances, she confronted the Undisputed host about health issues she had developed in an effort to cease any further harassment. In July 2021, she developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer. With the fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Mr. Bayless, hoping that it would make him take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, Skip told her that he wanted to be with her. She panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere, that she has a child and she does not want him. He then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to sleep with her. Ms. Faraji made an excuse to leave. Mr. Bayless then told Ms. Faraji that he fantasized about sleeping with her and asked how much money it would take for her to sleep with him. She then stated that she refused the $1.5 million and that her answer wasn't going to change. And Skip says, the more you say no, the more I want you. That's what she said that he told her. Now, that was the first thing. Then it says Skip Bayless made a racist remark towards Faraji, accused her of having sex with Shannon. So Skip was like he was seeing ghosts. That's what Jason Whitlock said. I'm gonna play that for you guys in a second too. Approximately 1 week later, Skip made another advance on her. She said, "Skip, stop. You have a wife." He responded, "Aren't you Muslim?" Skip said, "No, ain't that cool with you? Like, I can have more than." He said, "Doesn't your dad have?" This is a quote. "Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives?" Faraji responded that her father was deceased, and when Mr. Bayless looked taken back, she made an excuse to leave. After that, she had repeatedly shut off Skip's advances. The FS1 host accuses her of sleeping with his co-host Shannon Sharpe. So they saying that Whitlock say, I'm gonna play that for you guys in a second. Whitlock say that Skip was seeing ghosts. That because Shannon, I guess Shannon might have been hitting more than a couple up there, so I don't know. But it says her job, Miss Faraji's job, is threatened because she did not sleep with Mr. Bayless. Mr. Bayless answered the door before she could speak. He began angrily accusing her of effing Mr. Shannon Sharpe. She explained, or tried to explain, that she did not have any feelings towards Sharpe and had never slept with him or any other talent at Fox. Mr. Bayless then angrily stated that he heard her talk to Mr. Sharpe again about her vagina. So Skip said, "I heard you talking to him about your coochie. Like you gonna give it to him and not me." That's what this report says. So then the executive. Now here's another incident. The executive that just got fired, that I showed you guys all that information on, Charlie Dixon. I guess him and Joy Taylor had an accusation. It says Fox executive Charlie Dixon gives Joy Taylor Undisputed as a reward for sleeping with him. So I guess they saying that in this lawsuit that Joy got the job over there with Shannon and Skip because she slept with the boss. Before landing her major role as the host and moderator of Undisputed, Faraji alleges that Joy Taylor engaged in a sexual relationship with Charlie Dixon. So this is a woman saying this about another woman. The Fox executive responsible for content decisions, he's that guy. He secured her position. According to the lawsuit, this alleged arrangement helped Joy Taylor secure the job, but ultimately contributed to the breakdown of her marriage shortly after tying the knot. Wow. So I guess what was Joy was married and got divorced or something because of this situation. That's what this lady says. In approximately May 2016, Joy asked Faraji to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Faraji arrived, she found that Joy was with an older man, and this was the executive vice president, Mr. Dixon. And as an executive vice president, he's responsible for overseeing all the content and production. Faraji, however, did not know who he was. From their body language, she says, she suspected that the pair were sleeping with each other. And although this concerned Faraji, she knew that Joy Taylor was recently married, so she kept her opinions to herself. Mr. Bayless later disclosed, technical difficulty. Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys still with me. I had a little blackout. Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys can still hear me. Hit that like button if you're just coming in. I'm gonna keep going. It says, where I leave off. Mr. Bayless later disclosed that Faraji did not to Miss Faraji that, thank you guys for the chat, that he did not want Miss Taylor on the show, but Mr. Dixon was adamant that Joy would continue to star. So I guess Skip wanted Joy Taylor off the show for whatever reason. And hey, there's a Jenny Taft. If you guys remember Jenny Taft, if you watched Undisputed, her and Skip got into it too. I have the real details behind the scenes on why that was and what really happened in that situation. And it wasn't because of what we saw on TV. It was actually something behind the scenes that Jenny was tripping, which salute to Jenny. She did the right thing. I'm going to show you guys in a second. We got a little bit of information to get to on this live stream. So Skip, where did it go? Later disclosed that he did not want Miss Taylor on the show. So Skip wanted Joy off the show, but Charlie, the executive vice president, said that Joy should star. At first, Dixon arranged a dinner between Bayless and Joy, where she arrived in a provocative outfit and acted in a provocative manner. When that did not change Skip Bayless's opinion of Joy, Mr. Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Skip agreed to do so as a favor to his friend. So basically, Skip like, I ain't hitting. Why you? I ain't getting a hit. Why I should do this? So dude like, but I'm hitting, bro. Come on, do it. Take one for the team. Let her. I guess Joy tried to come. Dude told her like, hey, Joy, come up here in your sexiest outfit. Convince him. And Skip like, man, she ain't giving it to me. Allegedly. Around 2016, Faraji attended. This is the woman that's filing a lawsuit. Faraji attended a dinner with Joy and her husband, and Charlie and his wife. During the dinner, Joy's husband became suspicious that Joy was sleeping with Mr. Dixon and having a sexual relationship. Soon after the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Joy right away. So Joy, this lady is saying that Joy got divorced because the husband went to dinner with the bosses and seen, oh, y'all sleeping together. And was like, I'm out of here. Salute to him if that's the case. Always leave. Now, this woman said that the executive, and mind you, this guy just got fired yesterday, officially, from Fox Sports, says he groped her at a party, groped Faraji at a party, and Joy told her to get over it. So Faraji was attending Joy Taylor's birthday party in 2017 and was subject to an alleged groping by Charlie Dixon after the hairstylist had been awarded a position working on Undisputed. As Faraji was standing near the bar facing the crowd, Mr. Dixon approached her. He asked the bartender for a drink and then placed his arm on Faraji's lower back. He asked how she was doing, if she was having fun, if she wanted a tequila shot. Faraji felt uncomfortable by his unsolicited touching and responded, no, thank you. Mr. Dixon then moved his hand lower and started rubbing her body and grabbing her butt. She was mortified, but quickly thought to fake an incoming call to escape the situation. Miss Faraji didn't know who to turn to, but as she knew Miss Taylor, Joy Taylor, was sleeping with Mr. Dixon, she turned to her. Surprisingly, Joy responded to, quote, get over it, and explained that she herself only had her job because Dixon and Faraji only had her job because Joy Taylor requested her. She warned that Mr. Dixon could take both of those things away. So basically, Joy is like, yo, we both only got a job because of him. Like, chill. That's what she says. Man, it's a lot of information. Let's see. Basically, I don't want to keep going on this. This is all, y'all get the point. I want to show, because this is a lot of details. We'll be here for another hour going through all this stuff. I want to show you guys what Jason Whitlock had to say about this, because I thought his take on this was super interesting and funny. So I'm gonna pull that up because he also spoke about Jenny Taft. Maybe I should start with the Jenny Taft part of this. Maybe not. Let's see. Let's see if let's hear Jason Whitlock talk about Jenny Taft and why she really stopped working with Skip Bayless and what happened, because Skip, I guess, thought everybody was sleeping with Shannon Sharpe. So check this out, man. We about to play this real quick. This is Jason Whitlock, a former employee of FS1 who was there, and I got a couple things that he said that I want to show you guys. So take a listen.
I don't want you to misconstrue it, because the woman I'm about to reference here is someone I really like and respect. I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm just telling you what happened, and you can go check the tape. What you don't know is what happened behind the scenes. But some of you will remember this. Skip Bayless insinuated, flat out, somewhat stated that Jenny Taft was having some sort of inappropriate relationship with Shannon Sharpe. He said something about seeing her come out of Shannon's dressing room or something like that, and she got upset on air. But off air, as soon as that show was over, she ran upstairs and lit in to the executives. One executive in particular. About this, Skip Bayless basically just accused me of sleeping. And Jenny Taft is married, and so she was irate. And this happened on air. And that was my first clue. Like, oh, this dude is jealous of Shannon Sharpe. And he's seeing ghosts everywhere. And Shannon's putting those ghosts out there. Shannon walked around that place like he was banging every makeup and wardrobe girl in the place. His little wing, the undisputed downstairs wing, dressing room area, whatever. Shannon was known for running around there in the tightest little boxer shorts that he could find and nothing else.
Jesus.
Again, me and Cowher were on the second floor. I'm telling you what I heard. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Hit that like button if you just came in.
Leave it at that. But he has baited Skip Bayless, for lack of a better explanation, into a pimp competition. Who can have the most girls in hair and makeup like them, want to be with them? And again, Skip's mindset is competition, and I'm competing with Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe has now baited him into the sexual Olympics. And now Skip Bayless like, oh, he's sleeping with Jenny Taft. Oh, he must be sleeping with Nusheen. And Skip and Nusheen were very close. From afar, to me, it looked like they were best friends. They were, I'd see them in hair and makeup quite often, always conversating. Again, I don't know what they were talking about, but reading this lawsuit and what she's saying is at some point, Skip clearly got jealous and thought she was sleeping with Shannon Sharpe and kept accusing her of that. And so could I see Skip, and as close as he and Nusheen were, could I see Skip getting into a conversation that at the time he thought was playful, where he's then, again, because he's entered this sexual competition, he's throwing it out on the table, he's talking to Nusheen, the way he's overheard Shannon Sharpe talk to all of these women. These are just facts. Shannon Sharpe kept a flirtatious conversation going on with all of them. Things would fall out of his mouth to these women, and they'd laugh and they'd engage in a conversation with him. You couldn't pay me $1 million to say this stuff at work. Skip fell into it.
Skip fell into it. Bro said Skip was seeing ghosts. He said between Skip and Shannon, it was the sexual Olympics. That's crazy. The sexual Olympics. So basically, Jenny Taft I remember watching that episode live where Jenny and Skip was like, yeah, I seen you coming out of his dressing room. And Skip kept making little comments about Jenny and Shannon having a relationship. This is Jenny Taft, if you guys don't remember. And she's a married woman. And so I guess she was tripping, rightfully so. You're supposed to trip, especially behind something like that. Otherwise, people start, because when you say that publicly, what the public gonna do? Oh, Skip must know something we don't know. So that was the first part of that. And, there's a culture there, man. Some of you guys worked in offices. Y'all know how the culture be around them type of, environments. Now, Jason Whitlock, same thing. He said that he about to break down, because he worked there. He about to break down. I'm going to play it for you guys. the entire culture of what was going on behind the scenes. And I'm gonna let you guys hear it for yourself. Check this out. Oh, hold up. Technical difficulty. 1 second. Here we go.
Sports One. Who put this together? Joy Taylor, Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharpe. And so if you want to know what frustrates me and what my complaints about the legacy media, I just want you to, someone put this team together to kick off Fox Sports One's new strategy, content strategy. This is like 2016, 2017. Hey, and we're going to build the show around the network around Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe, and Joy Taylor. And I was like, well, I'm here at FS1. I'm a teammate. I got to go along with this. But anybody that ever watched me or knows anything about me, not comfortable. I was like, wow, Shannon Sharpe just got ran out at CBS Sports for basically sexual misconduct, allegations of problems with women, abuse problems with women. And wow, we're going to pair him with Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharpe's going to do this ghetto stick opposite Skip Bayless. And I was like, this is crazy. And look, Joy Taylor, pretty face, peanut butter skin, big cans.
Yo.
But what does she really have to say about the sports world? And I know her brother played in the NFL, but let's keep it real. And so when I saw this put together, I was like, this ain't really about doing sports TV.
I disagree with him. I think Joy Taylor be having decent takes.
This is about a debauchery, a buffoonery, a minstrel show, a sexual degeneracy. And this is just all off instincts. It's just like, look at this combination. The old white man that's trying to pretend that Lil Wayne is his best friend and that he's hip and cool. No self-awareness from Skip Bayless, no real confidence with Skip Bayless. Because there's no 70-year-old person that wants to pretend they're best friends with a rapper who's 30, 40 years younger than them. And I'm not trying to take pot shots at Lil Wayne. He's got a lane. He's chosen that lane. He's hip hop, he's rap. What 70-year-old, well, yeah, I'm hip hop and I'm rap and I wear gym shoes and Air Jordan.
He going to I see somebody, Clayton Bigsby. He do go into these little Clayton Bigsby rants. Like, bro, come on, get to the point.
All these allegations and what used to be said about Shannon Sharpe before it all got erased on Wikipedia because he's got the right powerful lawyers and the right backing. It all gets erased. Like, hey, he had these problems at CBS Sports. He's had all these allegations from women and baby mamas and all this other stuff. And it's like, oh, this is who we're going to partner together with, a 70-year-old white guy that's got an identity problem. Let's put the 50-year-old, 53-year-old sexual pervert. Let's partner those two guys together. And let me walk that back because at that time, Shannon was probably 48, 49 years old. And then let's drop in some eye candy who flashes her big cans every chance she can and, has this, hey, my brother is a Hall of Fame football player and these big cans and peanut butter skin and my brother are my qualifications. Let's all drop that into a bucket and boom, we've got a TV show that can lead a network. Real estate agents are true.
Look, man, big cans and peanut butter skin is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, like that. He going super, super crazy. That's the information, man. They saying that this is not just one person or the other. This is a whole culture that's been going on. Even you heard it from Stephen A. Smith earlier in the live stream. I played it for you guys, man. Stephen A. Smith say he's seen dudes that are talking about Shannon right now do wilder things, and that he knows about. So behind the scenes, it seems like this whole situation that Shannon Sharpe is in is really just exposing what's really going on behind the scenes with everybody. You know what I'm saying? The lesson in this, the lesson in this is for all my entrepreneurs that's listening. When you build a company, make sure that you maintain and manage the company culture very strongly. I always teach you guys the same thing, and we're gonna start community hour with this. Now we're about to go into this community hour where we talk about it from this perspective for all my entrepreneurs. And if you have a business or anything that you need help with, make sure that you drop it in the chat. I'll help you with any business question. If you don't watch my content, if you've never been here before, we do this content from the entrepreneur perspective. I do it to help people that are building businesses, people that are in their 9-to-5s trying to get out of their 9-to-5s. I actually, it's Wednesday today, and we're doing our From Stuck to Seven Figures no cost live event. We do it every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Go to the website, scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you register. All you got to do is put your email address in and let us send you a link to the private live stream where I teach you the 4 steps to find your purpose and turn it into profit. And we teach you how to get unstuck from every level of business that you're at. So if you just come, like for me, I've been stuck at every level, from not having a job to I got a good job. Then I went from having a good job to making 6 figures. Then from 6 figures, you get stuck at that $250,000 range again. And then from that $250,000 range, you get stuck at, you're trying to get to the millions. Like, man, I'm making $250,000. Matter of fact, I don't know if I can announce it yet. Yesterday, I told you guys I just was acquiring a wine company, ownership in a wine company, and it looked like that deal about to go through. So we good. Just to update on that. But make sure you guys go to the website. Join my inner circle too. If you guys haven't joined the inner circle, I just put a video up this week for networking. Welcome to the U Legend office. You here with your boy Will Evans, man. We here and we getting our work in. I want to take you guys with me on this journey so you guys can see what's going on. This is where we work every week. We come in, put the work in. I'm gonna walk you guys through it. So you guys can go to the inner circle and check it out. If you one of the inner circle members, open your portal up and check it out. And also for U Legend University, everybody that wants to join U Legend University, go over there, check it out, and help you out. The lesson in this: when you build your business, make sure that the culture that you build in is a culture that you want it to be for long term. My mom used to always say, how you start something is how it's always going to be. If you start your company culture with people can get hired because they look good or because of these nasty, weird things that these companies be doing, then you're going to have these problems in the end. You're going to get the lawsuits. You're going to get the HR problems like we're seeing at FS1, like we're seeing at ESPN, Shannon Sharpe, all these different situations. That's a direct result of the leadership, in my opinion. The leadership of these companies are allowing stuff to go a certain level or a certain distance. And because of that, you're getting these problems. I always teach you guys the difference between just having a logo and having a brand. You have a brand, whether you realize it or not, right? Like you have a brand, whether you realize it or not. It may not be a big one. It may not be one that everybody knows, but when you walk through the world, you have a brand. What does that mean? Even if you're a regular employee working a 9-to-5 job, when people say your name at your job, what thoughts come to mind? Is it this person works hard? Is it this person is consistent? Is it I could trust this person? Or is it this person's lazy? They're going to show up late. This person always does this. This person, everybody has a brand, right? And what a brand is the associations and disassociations somebody draws when they hear your name. If you have a strong brand, a positive brand, then your name walks into the room and gets you opportunities, and your name walks into the room, and that's important, man. And the same thing on the negative side. So that's why Shannon Sharpe had to be fired. That's why you had to be let go, because the associations that you're going to draw with ESPN, the things that people are going to associate. Like if we hire you as an employee, then people are going to say we hire this type of employee. That hurts the brand. And these companies, they have these culture. Like with FS1, you got all these lawsuits, your executives getting fired for sexual misconduct and all this stuff. While you fighting lawsuits, you settling out. Skip Bayless lawsuit, part of it is coming to a settlement. They said in Skip's case that while the parties, this is a quote, while the parties did not resolve at mediation, they are continuing to engage in settlement discussions with the mediator. The parties believe that to preserve resources, it will be beneficial to hold off the initial status conference pending completing settlement negotiations. So Skip is even settling. So if you don't want these type of problems, you got to just really maintain that company culture and protect the brand, because you could build a brand on foolishness. And I think that's a lesson that we all can take from it. It's not just about look at the entertainment, look how funny this is, and ha ha ha. Yeah, that's cool, and I get it. But overall, we all have that. We all have that responsibility. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Say, get your paper. Well, I already got my paper. I've been a millionaire. I'm just here to help now. Actually, look, I can show you guys. Sometimes people be like, you got to think, I got 4 monetized YouTube channels, 3 monetized TikToks. I got 4 monetized Instagrams. Plus I have a business. Plus I own like, I just got ownership of a wine company that I'm partnering up with Michael Franzese, the former mob boss. And we're going to be announcing that soon. We're just done, but we're going to, I'm going to roll it out. Like, I'm doing good, man. Plus all the other investments. We got some other investments. I think I made, just off this channel, I probably made 20,000 this week. 15,000, 12,000, something like that. Let me see. I don't need nobody money. I'm just here to help. You know what I mean? I did have a question. Somebody in my inner circle submitted a question that I wanted to have pulled up, but I'm going to have a call with them. But this is for the people that think I'll be capped. I ain't tripping on money. I'm just here to help. So I love your channel, man. I appreciate you being here. Man, I'm just here to help, man. And share this entertainment news. I'm not going to do too much teaching today because we got the live stream tonight. But make sure you guys is registered over there where it's the From Stuck to 7 Figures. 4 steps to turn your purpose into profit. Free. No cost. Not free. You got to pay me with your attention, obviously. You got to pay attention. But no cost live event. Said if I make 20,000 this year, I'll be doing good. Man, I was at that point at one point in my life. I've been through every level of it. That's the whole point of what I do, man, because I've been through every level of entrepreneurship, every level. And like man, it's nothing short of a blessing. It's only because of God that I'm here. But I'm only here to help at this point. I worked with companies directly for years. When I was building my business, I worked with so many people. Like, I work with big companies and you develop relationships. But I started working with entrepreneurs because I'm an entrepreneur and I know the things that I didn't have when I was getting started. So I provide those things in the inner circle. When you go to the inner circle, if you're in my inner circle, I just put a lesson up on, it's 10 minutes, 15-minute quick lesson teaching you how to network with millionaires. And the inner circle is $9 a month, or you could get a $20 discount and pay $99 one time. And you get it for the whole year, right? So you get live virtual events. We do our networking sessions, business Bible studies. And then I created U Legend University to give you guys mentoring. So you get to get every quarter. I do 3 days, just straight mentoring, answering every question you have about business, whatever you need to accomplish, or whatever questions you have as far as your business. We do 3 days over there. Plus you get the lessons. We got 5 modules over there. You get lifetime access to it in U Legend University. And you just pay, it's 3 payments of $197. So you pay 3 months, once a month, $200 a month for 3 months. You get to learn everything that I learned. And I really go in detail and I try to give as much value as possible because I understand this. Here's a lesson for you guys, all my entrepreneurs that's listening. When you create a product, nobody's paying you for what the product is worth. They're paying you in hopes that the thing that you're offering them is worth more than what they pay for. And we all do that as customers. So anything that you create as a business or as a product, you need to make sure that you're delivering value that's higher than what somebody paid for it. Because if it's not higher, then why are they paying for it? When I buy something, it's the first purpose of me buying anything. I don't care what it is. It's to solve a problem of mine. All customers think that way. You think that way. So if you're building a business, if you're building a brand, which we teach that in U Legend University, right? We teach you how to build a brand, $1 million brand. And also to like find your purpose and use the purpose to make you money, because people don't understand that if you don't enjoy the thing that you do, in the book of Ecclesiastes, King Solomon wrote that the gift of God is to enjoy your toil. That means to enjoy your work. You're not just supposed to work for no reason. So there's a lot of steps to that, but it's all things that everything I'm teaching is things that I wish somebody would have taught me back then. Plus the mentoring. You don't got a mentor, it's going to be really hard because you don't have anybody. Everybody is doing everything that they can. You're working as hard as you can. Most of us start with zero. Most millionaires are self-made. I think it's like 77% of millionaires are self-made. That means they didn't start with money. I didn't start with money. You know what I mean? Nor information, nor connections. So I had to figure all that stuff out over the last 11 years. I came home from jail at 20. I'm about to be 31. So over 11 years, I had to figure it out. And obviously getting right with Christ and giving my life to God was a huge part of that. But I take all my business principles from the Bible. That's where I learned all my stuff. And I think getting a mentor is one of the most valuable things that I did. When I got stuck at $250,000, which is, I feel like that's about the max that you could get without somebody teaching you nothing. If you struggle for 10 years, like you might be able to get to $250,000. And if you really astute, you can do it maybe in 5 years, get to $250,000. But you ain't going to really get past that because everybody is working as hard as they can and they're utilizing everything that they can. If you're watching this right now, you know that you're probably working as hard as you can. You're probably doing everything that you possibly can. But you don't have the exposure, you don't have the experience or the expectation that you can achieve more. If you knew that you could achieve more, you would do everything to do it, right? If I told you, hey, tomorrow you can have more, you would say how? Because all you need to know is that you can do it. And a lot of people don't have the exposure. Their ecosystem don't allow them to think outside of what they're already doing. So the importance of coming to, when you join my inner circle, right? The people in my inner circle, you're getting access to that. It's $9 a month or $99 a year. And you get access to that. You get access to a different ecosystem where you got somebody that's doing it and done it, and a bunch of other entrepreneurs that are serious about themselves and want to be different and want to change their life, all in one ecosystem where we sitting down, we talking about business. I'm helping you guys out, you know, and then in U Legend University, you spending 3 days with me 4 times a year. Plus you get the lessons, plus it's lifetime access. So you're getting the blueprints, you're getting what Will knows, the information, the transformation, and the education on all that, and you get lifetime access to it. So every time I send or update a new lesson, like, hey, I learned this, you guys. This is what I think you guys need to learn. You're going to get it in U Legend University. So it's all about exposing yourself to people that are doing what you want to do and people that are doing what you're struggling to do. There's a lot of successful business owners out there that are stuck, and which is why I do it from stuck to 7 figures. They're stuck because they have a business that they're not actually passionate about. Like you just created a business to make some money, and that's not success. Success and rich is 2 different things. I teach it all the time. Rich is just being able to make some money. We all can get rich. Success is operating for the primary purpose for which you was created. That's a different thing. So some people out there have businesses that, yes, you're making some money, but you feel stuck and you feel drained. I don't never feel drained. I don't never get burnout. Some of us get burnout because we work in the business like a job. And because we bought a business or we got a business or started one that is just to make money, but there's no purpose behind it. We teach you how to get unstuck from that in the private live event. And it's no cost. I'll teach you, you know, all you got to do is come spend a session with us, an hour. And you're going to be able to apply those things. So I want to invite you guys to that. It's no cost. Put your email address in. Let us send you the link. Tonight, we're doing it at 5:30 p.m. And I do it every single Wednesday to help as many people as possible. It's at $200 a month. That's it. Where do I sign up again? On ulegend.com. But that's for the university. $200 a month for 3 months. That's it. $197 a month, 3 months. And you get unlimited access. You get 3 days of coaching with me every 4 months. So every quarter, I'll do a 3-day event where everybody that's in Ledger University, we get together and I help you guys through everything. And if you can't afford that, go to the inner circle. And if you can't afford that, keep watching the YouTube live streams and come to From Stuck to Seven Figures. You know, but I think generally, like I could teach you guys so much about business, man, that it sounds like, oh, when we look at business, when we look at business like they know something or they got something that I don't got. I'm telling you, from being around these millionaires, being around these people, y'all ain't, everything y'all got is everything they got. The only difference is they believe differently and they have a different level of awareness based on who they're exposed to, what their experiences are, and how that shaped their expectation, which I'll get into tonight on our private event on From Stuck to Seven Figures. But everybody can be successful. I genuinely believe that. Everybody won't be successful, but everybody could be. So do you invest in cryptocurrency? Yeah, but it's not like I don't use it as I use it for what it is. All investments are just that. Like, I'm not looking at it. I'm invested in it and we moving, you know, I put the money over there and I just go live my life and keep working. You know what I'm saying? But it is I think I can't give you investment advice because that opens me to lawsuit because I'm a business consultant. So I can't give you financial advice. But I can tell you what personally I like to do. What I like to do is I like to invest in, like, for crypto. I have a crypto guy that works for me, but I'm only investing in stuff. I don't like risky investments. So I'm Bitcoin, the big ones. What's the big ones? That's the big one? Cool. Don't put me in nothing small. I'm cool with the smaller returns. I don't need the 300% return in a week. I'm good on that. Just give me the stuff that, you know, is low risk and safe. Because I'm not a gambler. I don't like losing money. I'm more of an investor. Even in my stocks, like, my stocks are very boring. I don't have no, like, oh man, this is gonna go crazy in a week. You know, my investments are boring. Said, I plan on becoming a millionaire real soon. Just posted that an hour ago on Facebook. This is confirmation. Hey, listen, if you're going to become a millionaire, I'm gonna tell you guys, for the ones that's still here, here's what it's gonna take for you to become a millionaire, right? Whatever, I don't care if you starting like Will Evans. I started from jail, the streets, came home and said, you know what, I'm about to dive into business. I've always had a passion for being an entrepreneur. I'm going to get some books. I'm going to college. College didn't work out. I'll tell you guys the story another time. But I went to the college library and got all the books on business. And I just went out there and started trying to be an entrepreneur, building my personal brand, use my personal brand to leverage the ability to go viral. Companies started wanting me to teach them how to go viral. They reach out to me. I go work with small businesses. The small businesses led to bigger businesses. The more I did that for 5 years. I worked with business to business. And then last year I said, I'm going to start helping entrepreneurs directly, but I was already rich. And if you follow me on social media, you guys know, you see me travel the world for the last 7 years. You've seen the mansion. You guys seen the stuff. Like, I live a good life, man. But here's how you go. Here's the millionaire formula quickly, because I'm running out of time. If you want to become a millionaire, the first thing you have to do is start with finding your purpose, not finding the perfect business idea. If you find your purpose, then you will find the perfect business idea within the purpose. I teach something called the 4 pillars of purpose. I'm going to go over it tonight in our private live stream. But overall, what it is finding the thing you like, the thing you're good at, combining that with how you can serve the most people, and then exalting God through that, honoring God with your business. If you do those 4 things, you're going to find your purpose and the perfect business idea for you. A lot of people go out searching for the idea that's going to make them the most money, but you might find the idea that's going to make you some money, but because you're not meant to do that, you're not going to do it long enough to be successful at it. So that's not how you do it. You got to find, what is my purpose in life? What am I going to use? And then you have to have a why. That's the next thing. A lot of people think that they want to be a millionaire because my clients, they come to me all the time. What's your goal? I ask them, what's your goal? I want to be a millionaire. The first thing I do is explain to me why. Oh, because I want to take care of my family and I want to travel. And well, you don't need to be a millionaire to do all that. When you talk about making millions of dollars, you have to have something bigger than you. Your purpose always has to be at that level. Your purpose has to be bigger than you. We ain't talking about making 6 figures or 100,000. You know, we talking about making millions. Why do you want to do that? Just because you want to show somebody else that you did it? That's not a good reason. I believe that God made me a millionaire and allowed me to become a millionaire because he knew that I would give it back to him and help his people. That's what my purpose is. One reason, like I could go deeper in that, but you got to enjoy the work you do and have a big why, right? So those are the first two things on the step to being a millionaire. Then you have to have a system. You have to have a system that you can implement that works repeatedly and you don't get bored with it. You know, because scaling a business to millions of dollars comes from me being able to look at it, or it comes from consistency. So the consistent numbers, the consistent input and output, when I'm able to gauge what that is, then I can say how I can scale it. I can see how I can scale it. Because if I don't have consistency, if I'm making 10,000 this month and I'm making 3,000 next month, I don't know what my numbers are supposed to be every month. You have to have something, a system, which I teach my clients when I teach my clients how to create that system. It's all about structuring. Do you have a lead generation offer? Do you have a continuity offer? Do you have a core product? Do you have a premium product? For example, a car dealership. Let's use, what's a good one? Let's use Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes, they might have, you might have a lead gen offer of, hey, if you come, so all car dealerships have this though, but lead gen is you could test drive. That's the free offer. Test drive the car. That's your lead generator. Free test drive. The continuity offer is, hey, if you are Mercedes-Benz, if you buy a Mercedes-Benz, you could pay this much a month for Sirius XM radio or something. I don't know. Then Mercedes gets a commission off of every sale of that. That's their continuity. And then your core product is, okay, we sell our C-Class. Our C-Class cars are core products. We sell a lot of those. And then our premium value product is, let's say, the Maybach or the S550. Like, those are your premiums. So it's a way to structure businesses. So you have to create that system to get to millions. And then here's the biggest piece. You have to get a mentor. You have to get somebody to teach you, because they see your blind spots and they help you expedite the process. They see the things that you don't see because been there, done it, and then expedite the process. So there is a way. It could take a year. It could take 3 years. It shouldn't take more than 5 to me, not in this day and age. So in U Legend University, I give you guys mentoring. So make sure you go to the website that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Check it out. And I hope to see you guys tonight in the private live event. No cost to you. Just show up with your notebooks ready to write down some gems, some information. And then Inner Circle, all my people in the Inner Circle, after that live event, we're going to continue to live stream in the Inner Circle. And I'm going to give you guys some game and some free advice on whatever we talk about tonight. That's going to be our networking session. So make sure you show up with your questions ready in the Inner Circle. Drop your questions in the chat when we get there. And, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys there, man. God bless you guys. My name is Will Evans. I hope to see you guys tonight, every Wednesday at 5:30 from Stuck to Seven Figures, man. Until next time, until tomorrow's live stream, God bless.